This video is going to go through the following workflow. We're going to have a customer place an order. We're going to print the piece specific to that order once the sale is confirmed. And then we're going to send that piece out for signature, receive it, and then deliver it to our customer. And we can see the following workflow here. So the first step is the customer places our order via our sales rep. The sales rep will enter the order into the system. The sales order will be confirmed. The manufacturing order is generated to print the piece. From there, a draft PO is generated for the artist's signature. Once the PO is confirmed, once we validate the details on the PO, it also will create a delivery order for the unsigned piece. So the unsigned piece that we printed in the previous steps is going to have a delivery order to the artist. And then it's also going to generate a receipt for that signed piece that we're expecting to receive back from the artist. Then the receipt will be validated. We'll receive that inventory, have it in stock. It will then reserve that piece of inventory, that signed piece, for our customer, and we'll be able to assign the serial number on the delivery. And then we're going to validate the order, print the label, and it will update our inventory levels. And once that unsigned piece is sent to the artist, it will also update the inventory levels and show the piece in a subcontracting location in our inventory. So let's go through this workflow. Here's my demo database. I'm going to go into my sales app. The customer calls me. They want a signed Picasso. I'm going to add in the piece. So we see here our 1 unit for our signed Picasso print. I'm going to save. The customer can confirm it through the portal. We can send it by email and then they'll have access to the portal. We can also confirm the order in the backend to allow for us to take an order over the phone and get a verbal confirmation from the customer. So we can confirm the order here. We can also confirm the order through the portal, and we can accept it here. To add shipping, all we simply have to do is add shipping. We can specify our provider. We'll use UPS and grab that rate. It will populate the shipping cost, and then I can add that to the order as well. So we can update the cost there. When we go into the customer portal, the customer will see that the shipping charge is now on there as well. They can sign for the order. We can confirm it in the back end as well by hitting confirm. And then once this order is confirmed, we are going to see that the manufacturing order is generated. So we see here the purchase delivery was generated. So we're going to go into our purchase order. And we see here we're ordering the signed Picasso print. So we're sending it to our artist. They're going to sign the piece of art and send it back to us. If we want to update the cost of that, what we will pay for it, we can as well. So I'll put in $100 for example. Once I send by email and hear back from the artist on the cost and everything, then we can update our costs of good as well. So I'm going to confirm the order. This is going to generate the receipt, and it also ties it back to the sales order. So when I go to my inventory app, we're going to see a few items. We're going to see our manufacturing order to print. We're going to see the receipt of the final product, the signed Picasso. We're going to see a few deliveries, so a delivery order to our customer and a delivery order to our artist for the signed piece. When we click in, we'll see the statuses. So the status will be ready or waiting for an operation. When I click into this one, when I check availability, it will reserve So I can check availability. Since I don't have it in stock, it's not allowing me to reserve it for the order. This is important because when we filter by whether it's ready or waiting, waiting means that we're waiting for it to be reserved and in stock. So it's not going to allow us to send that end product to our customer because we don't have that signed piece back from our artist. It also isn't going to allow us to send that signed piece or the unsigned piece to our artist to be signed because we don't have the uh, unsigned copy in inventory yet either. So the next logical step based on this is to go into our manufacturing order and we can check availability. We have the item in stock, so change the uh, status from waiting to ready. I can now mark it as done. If I want to go back and complete it later, we see that the material status has been updated to ready, and we see that the state has been confirmed. So now we're going to go into our manufacturing and validate the printing as done. We'll apply the quantities. It will show here the order was printed, the Picasso print, the date it was printed, and when we go back to our manufacturing orders, we see we have none in the to-do stage. So when I go back to my inventory overview, I see I have no manufacturing orders, so anything to be printed. And now I have one delivery order to process. And we see that it changed the status to ready based on having that print in stock to send to our artist. So we're going to go in and validate. And now we sent our unsigned print to our artist. Under the additional info, we could have specified a carrier and printed a label. I'll be showing this feature on the shipment to our customer. Now we see we have one waiting, so we have that customer order waiting to deliver the final product of that signed piece. So we're going to, obviously time will pass, and the shipment of the unsigned piece to the artist will then be sent back to us from the artist. So we're going to go into our receipts and we're going to receive the signed piece, the signed Picasso, from our artist and confirm. So we can go in and assign our serial number to 1000, confirm it. I'm going to go in and validate this receipt. So now we change the status to done. When we go into our delivery order, we see now the status was changed to ready. So this is delivering from stock to our customer for customer X. When I go in and validate, I can specify the serial number and then I can go in and validate the order. When I validate the order, it's going to print the shipping label. It's going to text the customer with their reference number for tracking. So the shipment is created. You can print the PDF from here. You can have it automatically sent to your printer. We see the status has changed to done. We can directly go into the tracking this way. We can see the traceability as well. So if we went into our traceability, see the serial number from stock to customers 1 unit. And we can go into our sales order. And we see that the status of the signed piece went from an ordered quantity of 1 and now a delivered quantity of 1. And we can see here we haven't invoiced for it yet. So what we can do is go in and create the invoice from here. We can also go to our Let's go back to my sales app. We can go in and see to invoice. So if we go to orders to invoice, we can see any open invoices that we have, uh, any sales orders that are ready to be invoiced. So I can click on them as a batch and create the invoices. Since they're the same customer, it will batch these ones. So I'm going to process one, create the invoice for the regular down payment, confirm the draft. We see here the invoice lines, and then we see down here all the journal items that was hit. So we see product sales, so that's our revenue account, accounts receivable. All these can be configured during your implementation to use the chart of accounts that you currently would use. So when I go to my accounting app, we see we have one unpaid invoice, the one that I just created. And I can go in and synchronize with my bank account. So you can automatically sync your bank statements either on a weekly, a daily, or a monthly basis. For the purpose of the demo, I'm going to use manual bank statement. I'll do, and let me, so our bank statement is posted on our dashboard. It's going to ask, as your bank statements are synchronized, it's going to ask you whether you want to reconcile the items in your bank statement. So when I click reconcile, it's going to pull the payment that matches that number. So we see here from our bank statement, we're going to match it with this number here. So now I can click validate, and you can also have that be completed automatically. So you can configure that in the backend, and if you wanted to see a video on that, we could discuss that as well. So now it moved the balance of the unpaid invoice into our general ledger. And if I go into my customer and invoices, we see the status of the invoice change to paid. So when I click in, it also will show the banner here as paid, and it shows the status here and who completed it as well, from not paid to paid. So now we can go into our reporting and see our profit and loss, and we see we now have that amount in our profit. And then if we went to our balance sheet, we would see that as well, because some of it was tax. So we see the total amount in our bank and cash. And then if we wanted to see some of our liabilities, such as the tax received, we can see that as well. So you have full flexibility to go into your accounting and be able to access all your data as well that way. So if you have any questions, please contact CKA@odoo.com. And thanks for watching.